I'm Layla.
I'm Sarah, and this is Not Your Usual Podcast.
Guys, I'm Layla.
I'm Sarah,
and this is Not Your Usual Podcast. Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back. So if you haven't watched our first episode, this is Not Your Usual Podcast, and you should definitely go watch our introduction.
For
We're talking
sure.
about a little bit about ourselves and our intentions with this podcast.
Our dynamic, our friendship. It's a great episode, and I think you guys should go watch. Today, we are talking about accountability, which is something that we practice every day and something that we really think is going to help you guys if you have a goal you'd like to reach, or if you just feel a little stuck right now, you're not at the place that you would like to be. I think accountability is really going to help you out.
Yes, so for me, self-accountability has been huge just because I've always been a person with huge goals, and to me, like, I have this vision of where I want to be, but I just know I'm not going to get there by doing the same things as everyone else is doing. And that was when self-accountability really started playing a big role in my life, because if you want to be at a certain place, you have to know what actions you're going to be taking to get there, you know? And I feel like that comes with, like, knowing your distractions and stuff like that.
For sure. I definitely feel like distractions is what is going to hinder you and what is going to block your blessing. At the end of the day, you know what you need to do. You only have yourself. You may have people around you, but to hold yourself to a level of standard, that is on you. And you need to be able to recognize what is hindering yourself from getting to that next point of achievement that you'd like to reach. So for example, that could be going out, that could be certain people in your life, that could be certain behaviors. Maybe don't take that nap if you know you have an event to go to because you know you'll be tired, or I might have an event with my family in the morning, maybe don't go out the night before. Things like that, little things that are decisions, they're all up to you at the end of the day. So we just want to talk about how making those good decisions are going to really elevate your life.
Yes.
So
to get right into it, you don't have to live a life completely harsh on yourself and not enjoy yourself to be self-accountable. Like, you can just do whatever is best for you, but not just what's best in the moment. Like, it has to be best for now and later
meaningful
too. Yeah. Like, okay, if you have an event and you want to go with your friends at night, but you have something in the morning with your family and you really want to show up for both, to me, that just means you have to figure it out.
Yes.
Like, if you want to show up for both, you just have to hold yourself accountable to the times you're going to be getting there, leaving, what time you're going to be waking up. And that just comes with discipline, honestly, knowing, like, which step to take and actually taking those steps, because you can't say you want to be somewhere and not take the steps to be there.
be about what you talk about is so big, I think, for the both of us, because if you're consistently saying, I don't know why I'm doing bad on these exams, or I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, I'm always so tired when I do these things, or I just don't like those types of that environment, why am I going? Why are you going? Why are you doing those things? Seriously, it's kind of a talk that you have to, you have to ask yourselves, am I my biggest, like, sabotager? Am I doing this to myself on purpose? No. So just a quick change in mindset to really think, hey, is this going to benefit me? Is this going to take me to where I want to be? And is this the right thing for me to do right now, presently? It doesn't matter what anybody else around you or in your circle is doing. What is the best thing for you?
Yes.
So.
And me personally, like, I have this problem that the more I grow, the more it becomes less of a problem, because I'm putting God first every single day.
Yes.
But my problem is that I actually believe that I can do anything.
Yes.
And sometimes it's not a problem.
Yes, I
but
know
it's
what
just
you
because
mean.
it's like, okay, like, if I can do it, then why is it not done yet?
Yes.
And, you know, and sometimes you have to realize it's not done because you're not ready. You haven't taken the steps to be ready. Like, if that opportunity you're so excited about knocked on your door today, would you be fully ready, or are you like,
would you say
scratch
make
your
excuses?
head, right? And it's like, sometimes for you to actually get those opportunities, you need to be living as the person who would have those opportunities. But that comes with discipline, comes with a vision, like a plan. Like, a plan for me was so important. When I realized where I wanted to be in life and the friends I wanted to have, the material things I wanted to have too, because material doesn't matter, but we need a bed to live in, to sleep in. So it does matter. Like at the end of the day, this is a materialistic world. Like we are going to need material things, and I know what kind of material things I want. So why would I subject myself to less than that? If like, you know, like it all comes with just knowing what you want, sticking to that vision, and disaligning yourself with everything that's not it. If you want to wake up early and go to the gym, but you're drinking and going out every night, you are lying to yourself. You don't want to wake up early. You're just telling yourself that you want to do that and telling other people to make yourself feel better. And maybe you really do, but you need to really make those decisions. Do you want to go out, or do you want to go to the gym and be healthy?
Exactly. And that all comes with putting it into your daily routine. For example, like this morning, I woke up at about 7:30 this morning. We were texting last night. She was asking what time we were going to wake up. And I said 7:30. Why? Because I wanted to set aside 20 minutes of my day to pray, and I wanted to set aside at least an hour and some change to clean my room in the morning, in addition to doing all the other things that I had to do for the day. So it's basically setting yourself apart from the norm of what you used to do before that you weren't feeling any progress in. And that comes with realizing your flaws. I know for me as a person, I need to go to the gym before literally I do anything extraneous, because if I keep going throughout my day, waiting, are you serious? Like, do you think I'm going to the gym? No.
By 6 o'clock, I'm
staying at home.
Take a shower.
Yes, exactly. Or just recognizing your flaws before you make the same repetitive mistakes that you used to do. What behaviors are you not aligning with? What mistakes are you making now that are not allowing you to progress or to get you where you want to be? Write those things down and switch your mentality. Literally, there's so much that we are capable of as humans, and there's so much we can do, but we have to prioritize the things that we want to do to get them done. They're not just ideas in your head. And if you have an idea and you want it to come true, why are you not allowing yourself to become the best version of yourself?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Wow. I'm just like speechless. I'm like, what was I even gonna say? I don't even know.
Yes. So I think, would you want to talk about like disturbing your peace and protecting your energy for being self-accountable as well? Like, how do you practice that in your daily life?
For me, if I'm gonna be honest, you need to start with not lying to yourself, because majority of the time, you know what's messing you up, and you know exactly who is messing you up and what habits are messing you up. But it's like in the back of your head, it's like, oh no, like I'm so good at that, so I can do that thing, or well, like I deserve it. Or even sometimes like I'm in college, or this is my last year. That does not matter at all. Like you need to actually focus on where you want to be and on the person that you want to be, because every day you're either getting better or worse. I don't care. Like when I heard that the first time, it really stuck with me, because it's true. If I had started going to boxing a year ago, today I would have been a really good boxer.
True.
If I had stopped going to the gym a year ago, today I might not have been as fit as I am.
Exactly.
So it's like you really need to realize what you're doing on your everyday basis and see like if those things are making you better or worse. And sometimes it's unfortunately making you worse. And if you don't take the time to be like, hey, like this is actually disturbing my peace. For me, that was so huge, because I'm not gonna lie, like for a lot of my life, I just felt like I just needed to change something. Like for me, like I'm glad to say that I've always had like a really big like self-awareness and discernment. So to me, it was like, if I'm not feeling okay, something needs to change.
For sure.
And it's not gonna be like just in me. Like I would rearrange my room 4 times a month.
And you're still not getting the feeling of like,
because it's like sometimes it's bigger than that. Like it's not that room. You need to cut somebody off, or you need to quit that job.
Like let's really look at things from a different perspective. What do you think energetically is hindering you from reaching that point?
Yeah.
And back on what you were saying before, I really think that it's a behavioral thing at most. Like For example, like if you do things a numerous amount of times, that is going to stick to your routine, and that's going to be in your mentality to do those things
Yes.
over and over again.
Repetition.
Say you want to be a CEO, say you want to start that clothing brand, you want to start that new job, you want to start that business idea, and you're saying, oh, when I get there, I'm not waking up at 1 p.m. anymore, I'm not going to eat fast food anymore, I'm not doing this or that.
Real.
You're going to be doing the same thing. You're going to be pulling the same habits that you've been doing this whole time into that CEO position, into that new job, into that new energy.
Yeah.
You need to start now. Cut those things out now so you can have a better future for your life.
Yeah.
It starts today.
And realistically, like, which CEO is waking up at 1 p.m.?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they are, good for them. Like, I'll congratulate you right now.
Yes.
But 1 p.m., that's basically like your whole day's gone. Like, you don't have to wake up super early every day, but I feel like that also comes with self accountability because why are you sleeping in so much? Like, what time are you going to bed? Are you eating well enough to be like, are you giving yourself the right food to want to be like awake and alive? I feel like that also comes with self accountability
And discipline.
Yes, like people don't understand that if you're not feeding your body the right foods, drinking the right amount of water, and sleeping the right amount of sleep, you're not gonna have the will, the motivation, or the dedication to do the things you want to do.
Exactly.
That was huge for me. I used to have migraines and headaches every day. I had to get the scans and all that stuff,
Yes.
and there was nothing wrong. It was just stressed. Why? Because I wasn't sleeping enough or eating enough. It's like you're a human. Like, I don't know if no one has told you, but you're a human. You
Yes.
need to take care of your body like
Yes.
you're a real human
Exactly.
in order for you to do like great things and reach your full potential. Otherwise, you're gonna be like a dead zombie walking.
Literally. And the best piece of advice I definitely could give you guys too is to live as the person that you've always wanted to be. Live in that mentality and become that person. If you know you want to be a person that wakes up early and go to the gym and like, I wish I could do that. You can be that now. If you want to be a person that really eats healthy, fuels their body with the right nutrients and energy so that they can take on the whole day and not feel tired, do that now. Even if it's taking the courage, even something in relationship wise, say that you have your eyes on someone and you're interested in someone, I think that even that, taking accountability and realizing like, it's more like not denying yourself of what you want to do.
True.
Say taking that extra step, go talk to that person, be social.
And be honest
Be
about how you
honest
feel.
about how you feel. That is something about being accountable as well.
Yeah. I was gonna say, for me, I've always been a little annoying with things like this because I'm just like, if I really want something, I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah, you're gonna
if
do
I
it.
can't make it happen, I didn't want it bad enough. Like the gym. That's something that's been so big for me because it changed my life completely. And I know how people struggle with it and struggle with like the consistency. Like, I have a lot of people in my family that wish they had the motivation to go every day.
Yeah.
But for me, it's more of like the repetition thing that you said. Like, I know how good it makes me feel. I know the benefits of it mentally and physically. So me not going would just literally be putting myself back.
Yep.
And then there are people who will be like, well, I don't have time for the gym. I have to wake up at this time, and I have to go to work at this time, and I have to go to sleep at this time. But if you have those questions, just come to me, and I'll be like, you could definitely fit that gym
In
at
that
this
set,
time.
she will. She definitely will.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'll be like, well, do you really want to? Because if you want to, you can. Remember I said tell you
Yes.
just wake up earlier.
Yes.
And you'd be like, I can't. But
Exactly.
you would make it after work though.
Yes.
Because you wanted to.
Exactly.
So you make it happen.
Yes.
Same thing for eating healthy too. Like it's if you don't have time to cook, pick a day out of the week, meal prep. There's always going to have a way for whatever you want to do. It's just how bad you want to do it. Even for school, like my first language isn't English. I'm right now doing international business, and it's probably one of the hardest things I've ever had
Yes.
to do. Not just physically, but mentally, because I'm like, no one in my family went to college. My dad didn't even graduate high school. So it's like sometimes my brain will be like, you can't do it. Or like, you should just quit. But it's
See?
like,
Yes.
no, because I've been doing this repetitive. And if I could just keep going, I could get it done.
Exactly. And I think it's about a knowledge thing as well. Like you said about going to the gym, if you know the benefits, why are you not doing it? I really feel like we are so lucky to live in a day and age of social media, of internet, and all of these things. And there's consistently people online that are giving us tools and information that are going to help us. So it's like if you are consistently being exposed to these types of messages, to this type of environment, why are you depriving yourself of something you know is going to benefit you? And I feel like a lot in my journey, in my relationship with God, that's really helped me, because I feel like my relationship with God has pushed me to become more accountable and to stop doing things that have hindered me and have caused me to get into bad situations. And for me, accountability means a lot to me personally, because I honestly don't even think I'd be sitting here today with you if I didn't hold myself accountable and to basically do what I said I wanted to do.
Yeah,
So
me too, honestly. Because I say that I want to do a lot of things. And that's also something that I try not to do anymore. And just like get to doing it instead of just saying it.
Yes.
But yeah, just being about what you talk about has been like a huge thing for me, because the person that I am now would be so proud of the person I was 3 years ago and 5 years ago, and also even 8 years ago. Because I remember when I first moved to America, I didn't speak any English, guys. I didn't know how to say hello, how are you? I knew how to say hello and thank you and hi and bye. But it's like everyone knows those, you know, like maybe how are you too, but you know, like the bare minimum. But now I'm able to sit here and have a conversation with you and with everyone else because I took the time to learn that.
You held yourself accountable.
Yes, and it's like, yes, like in the position that I was in, I genuinely didn't feel like I had a choice. I went to an all-American school. We didn't really have like a Latin population in there, so it was like you have to speak English or you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Like that's how I felt. But at the end of the day, it's like there are people who are in that position too, and they just like don't learn it the best that they could learn it because they don't believe in their potential or they don't apply themselves hard enough.
Exactly.
I feel like applying yourself hard enough will really take you to where you want to be, because there were days where I would wake up and be like, I can't do this. This is too hard. But it's like the vision is what really holds me accountable. Like even when it comes to my degree, like I just know that I want to have it and I want to use it. So when I'm doing my homework and it's getting too hard, I'll think about that outcome and where it's going to get me and my family and all of the work that I've put in already. So it's really applying yourself hard enough for specific areas and just being about what you talk about. It's not that hard if you want it bad enough.
And I really don't want to shed lightly on like the mental health aspect of it all, because I really feel like it is hard to hold yourself accountable if you are mentally not doing well. If you find yourself in a depressed state, in a state of being very anxious, or even you're looking at your body and you're feeling a lot of dysmorphia at the time, I just want to shed light that there is so much more for you, and there is so much potential in you to be that person that you've always wanted to be. You still have that dream inside of you. You still have that vision inside of you that you know there is more to life, and there is happiness in life that you should enjoy. And I think holding yourself to a level of discipline does release a lot of endorphins, because you're doing something for you. You're doing something that makes you happy. And I feel like a lot of times in my life, when I feel like I'm not where I want to be, or if I feel sad, or if I'm just in a period where I'm just in a down mood, I have to remember my faith, and I remember that there is glory on the other side, and there's glory on the other side of the storm, and that even though I may be in a rough season right now, this is not the end of my life, and this is not the end of where I am going to see myself. There's so much more in myself, and there's so much potential in myself to go a lot farther. And I feel like that is something that I always have to remind myself to hold myself accountable for, that this is for me to be the best version of me and to be the most happiest version of me. So if you find yourself struggling right now, this is not the end of your story, and this is not the end of where you're gonna see yourself.
Amen.
So I just want to say that there, because I feel like it's not talked about, how if you feel like you're not gonna get out of bed this morning because you don't feel like you want to, why would you want to hold yourself accountable?
Right.
It's the it's the vision that does help. The
Yeah.
vision that you're not going to be in the same place that
Yeah.
you are now.
There's so many levels to it, honestly, and
Mm-hmm.
I could really talk about that because I've been in all levels. I feel like there was a point where I didn't like. I knew I had that vision, but it was like, am I delusional?
Yes.
Because circumstances might look very different at all times, but
The
you
reality,
can't-
you
yeah,
can't look at
Look
that.
at circumstances. You have to pick up a faith. If you don't have one, you have to find a faith that's really big. If you have
Or a
vision.
passion,
Mm-hmm.
a hobby. Say you are not religious. Find something that excites you. Find something that forces you to keep going.
To wake up every day and it's like you get to do that. You are able to do that. Like you have 2 arms, 2 legs, hopefully. And if you don't, like you should have something that you can work with. You know, like there's always going to be something to be grateful for.
If you're listening to us now, your brain's able to coherently understand
you have
us.
a phone, you can be grateful
Yes.
for that. You have Wi-Fi. Like there
Find
are people
gratitude.
that don't have that.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I was gonna say too, if you don't have a vision, maybe you just need to sit down with yourself and talk to yourself, talk to God, talk to the universe, whoever you believe in.
Talk to a friend, talk to a family member.
Talk about what you like. Sometimes write it down. Like I'm really big on writing. That's how I've found myself most of the time, honestly. Write it down. What do you like to do? What entertains you? Like what do you do in your free time? Find a vision and also a vision board. Once I made a vision board for the first time, I feel like that was like a huge step into healing because whenever I like picked out all the pictures I wanted from Pinterest, I made it really special. Like I made it to the point where it would be like, okay, like this is the ideal life for me right now. And whenever I would be struggling mentally, physically, it's like this is your life that it's coming for you. Like it doesn't matter what, it's gonna come. Like it's coming.
Exactly.
So, and even when it comes to like anxiety too, like I can tell you guys a lot about that. Like I've struggled with anxiety my entire life, and now I'm at a point where I use it in my advantage.
Exactly.
And the reason why I'm able to do that is because I've found tools and practices that help me. Every day when I wake up, I don't just automatically start my day. Like I have to sit down with myself. I read my devotional. If you follow me on Snapchat, you know I post them every day. If you don't. I journal, I meditate. I don't meditate every day, but it's just like things that I know that if I'm not doing, I'm not going to be at my best self. Like if I woke up today and I went to the gym, I meditated, I journaled, and I eat breakfast every day too, because that's good for your mental health and brain. Like you're feeding your body. If I didn't do those things, I wouldn't be feeling as good as I'm feeling now. I actually didn't go to the gym today, but see, if I had gone, I probably would have been feeling better. Yeah, and it's like now I know that I'm not doing these things just to be cool or to like look good. I'm doing them because it helps me so much mentally, and it actually keeps me like accountable for the things that I'm working towards.
Exactly. And I want to say, if there are people, maybe not even in your life, on social media, and they're living a lifestyle that you're like, I wish I could live this lifestyle. I wish I could be in this position. Look at them. And I'm not saying this in a copying way or for you to feel like you're basically trying to recreate somebody's life, but in a way, what are they doing? What are they practicing? What are their daily routine that you can embody so that you can feel similar, that you can achieve similar goals? Stick to a routine that you know is going to be something that you can wake up every day and you can feel great. You can feel like whatever happens, whatever any type of adversity may come your way, that at the end of the day, because you are so secure in your own self, it doesn't matter. And that's the mentality I had to reach. Like, out of full transparency, like, I did lose my job. I think it was like a couple weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago.
Let everybody know.
And literally, like, most people, like, when I told them, were kind of just like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, because it was a major layoff. I was laid off with about 5 or 6 other people. But for me, since I was so secure in myself and I knew I had different visions and other plans that I wanted to put into fruition, I was fine.
Yeah.
And that's because I've held myself accountable all this time, that no matter what would happen, I know what I can do to make myself feel good, and I know what I can do to make myself achieve a point where I feel like I'm okay. And so I'm okay. And that's like me a couple years ago. I wouldn't be okay. I would be a wreck probably, but it's because I didn't have that moral ground and that moral responsibility to myself that I need to be okay no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's holding yourself accountable
Yeah.
as well.
I think also like it's really important to hold yourself accountable emotionally because sometimes a situation isn't as big or it doesn't have to be as big, but your emotions are so big, and if you can't control it, if you weren't taught how to control those emotions, you might spaz
Yes.
and just act crazy, and now it's a big situation for something that could have been completely
That's
avoided.
good. Yep.
Or, you know, it's like sometimes you just really need to take a couple breaths and sit down with yourself. Don't call anyone, talk to God. Literally go for a walk before you make decisions while you're mad, before you cuss people out, because like that also like puts you on the wrong path. Like you don't want to be expressing yourself in such an angrily manner that you're disaligning yourself with the things you want to have.
Yes.
And that also brings me to not make yourself the victim. I think that's the last thing I have, honestly, because I have seen a lot of people say that they want things and say that they want to do things. And sometimes they'll even use an excuse of evil eye. I'm sorry, but there's no evil eye that can break anything that God meant for to happen in my life.
Yes. Amen.
Whatever doesn't happen in my life was not meant to be, and I'm okay with that. But I feel like some people don't have the will to work for things
That
that
they
hard,
want.
or they don't want it that bad, and they'll be like, well, this didn't happen because evil eye. No, it didn't happen because one, you didn't believe enough for it to happen, you didn't try hard enough.
Yep.
Two, or you didn't, it wasn't meant to be. Sometimes things aren't meant to be, and it's not, because sometimes you do try hard enough and it's not just not meant to be. But with working hard and like trying hard, though, I will say, don't just try hard and work hard, and make sure you have your intentions in the right place. Like,
Exactly.
don't just tell yourself I want to make so much money, because you could be I don't want to say, like, I don't want to offend anyone, but you could just be working somewhere where you don't like forever, making a lot of money, just
But you're
because that's what you
miserable.
said.
You're not liking where you are.
Yeah. Make sure you set your intentions very accurately when you hold yourself accountable, and not just things that society are doing or things that they want you to do, or your family, because your family will play a big role too. But at the end of the day, they're not the ones who are waking up in your body and your skin.
Amen.
They don't know what you feel like, and they don't know what your dream is for your life. So
Amen.
you're the only person who can really pick out your day and be like, this is what you need to be doing every morning, this is what you need to be doing every night and afternoon, so you can really get to where you want to be. But if you don't follow those things either, like,
It doesn't
no one
matter.
else will. So it doesn't matter. Pick those things out and follow them and stick to it, and I promise you, you will get to where you want to be in due time.
Exactly.
Patience is a virtue. Don't try to get there before the time is right, because then you might not even be happy.
Exactly.
So,
I think that's all we have for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank you so
again.
much.
We'll see you in
On
the
the
next
next one.
episode.